You voted to cut the price of eggs, not for a $50,000 bill your family can't pay. You voted to cut the price of gas, not to have mom or dad thrown out of nursing home care. The MAGA murder budget is going to kill people. Millions will lose care they can't afford any other way. People with diabetes, kidney disease, cancer, Alzheimer's. You voted for a stronger economy, not to close over 300 hospitals in farm states. But Congress voted to put the burden on you, to put your family and your finances at risk. It's not about Republicans or Democrats now. It's about right and wrong. Tell your senator, this is wrong.
The Lincoln Project didn't just call Trump out, they handed him the microphone at his own comedy roast. With metaphors as sharp as their wit, they compared his border wall to his natural hair, mostly imaginary. But here's the shocking twist. Trump's meltdown over the ad may be proof his campaign is falling apart. Could this be the turning point for 2024? Let's dive in.
Most of us want a government that does its job and leaves us alone. The Trump administration is failing. Trump turned Elon Musk loose with a chainsaw. And what happened?
Trump's meme coin surged 50% yesterday. Why? Well, the president offered to host its top holders for a private dinner in Washington.
Trump put a longtime heroin addict kook in charge of our nation's health. It's a clown show. All we wanted was a government that worked. What did we get? Corruption and incompetence. Donald Trump. It's just not working.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. What if the border wall wasn't the only thing Trump oversold? The Lincoln Project seems to think it's just one small piece of a much bigger joke, and their latest ad makes that pretty clear. Instead of directly going after Trump with boring stats or long-winded speeches, they whipped up a biting comedy sketch that gets straight to the heart of his biggest promises. And boy, did it hit a nerve.
Trump promised you a golden age. He promised prosperity, lower prices and higher paychecks, an end to inflation. Instead, he blew it. His tax plan? Yours goes up, Elon pays nothing. You trusted him, believed in the myth, Trump's recession, inevitable. Trump's dumb tariffs, you pay them. Seen Trump's stock market lately, it's crashing.
That we're going to become so rich, you're not going to know where to spend all that money. This will truly be the golden age of America.
Rich, golden age.
Take one of the biggest ones, the wall. Remember Trump's promise to build that beautiful southern border wall, paid for by Mexico? Well, according to the Lincoln Project, this wall shares one key trait with his infamous hair. It's mostly imaginary. They didn't stop there though. Using humor sharper than the pencils used to draft his budget cuts, they poked fun at Trump's pledge to replace Obamacare with something much better. Spoiler alert, that something turned out to be nothing. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Their ad really struck gold with a dripping faucet metaphor. You see the slow, steady leak, and the voiceover explains how working-class Americans felt their wallets drain under Trump's beloved 2017 tax cuts. Those cuts were sold as a win for everyone, but experts found they disproportionately benefited the wealthy, leaving middle-class workers high and dry. It was like promising the people a swimming pool and delivering a kiddie splash pad for billionaires.
You paid your taxes every year. You worked to pay for your Social Security every year. You played by the rules. Now Republicans are changing the rules.
Millions of Americans are losing money from their retirement plans as the stock market continues its downward trend.
They don't care. Social Security is in chaos. Offices closed, support staff slashed, helplines turned off. Republicans promised lower prices, more prosperity, a fresh start. What did we get? We got screwed.
And remember Trump bragging about bringing back American manufacturing jobs. Another swing and a miss, according to the ad. They mocked his hollow claims by spotlighting the same states that waited and waited for promised jobs that never arrived. It's all very Trump Tower made in China energy. This satirical takedown amplified the irony of Trump's entire leadership, the showmanship, the slogans, and the small print that got lost in the theatrics. The ad didn't just land, oh, it exploded, thanks in part to the humor. humor. Instead of brushing it off, Trump had a full-blown Twitter meltdown, which gave the ad more oxygen than a leaf blower at a candlelight vigil, but his reaction makes you wonder, how could one pack this much punch? Maybe it's not just a jab at him, but a call out of his vulnerabilities heading into 2024. Let's dig deeper.
It's amazing. Some people still think Donald Trump knows how to negotiate, that he's a deal maker. But really, he's a chicken. Wall Street figured it out. Same trade every time. It's the taco trade, because Trump always chickens out. He talks a big game on tariffs, then backs down. Over and over. When Trump goes hard on something, just bet on the dip. Wait for Trump to blink. Then cash in on the rebound. Every single time. Trump always chickens out. He's not a deal maker. He's not a negotiator. He's a taco.
When Trump spirals, it's like giving the internet front row seats to the circus. But his reaction to the Lincoln Project's latest ad wasn't just over the top. It might also reveal cracks in his campaign. Reports from his former aides paint a picture of a candidate who feels the election is slipping out of his grasp. And judging by his response, that ad hit way too close to home. First, let's talk about his campaign, or lack of one. Word on the street is that Trump's avoiding key swing states. Why? Apparently the man is pay. Yes, you heard that right. He's reportedly too scared to face public scrutiny after a series of underwhelming rallies and a lack of fresh messaging beyond his greatest hits. I built the wall, witch hunt, and of course, fake news. This reluctance to campaign where it matters mirrors his meltdown over the Lincoln Project's ad. It's another sign that pressure might be getting to him. Former White House insiders aren't exactly holding back either. Sarah Matthews, once part of Trump's communications team, said his inability to take criticism seriously has always been his Achilles heel. And Anthony Scaramucci added extra spice, describing Trump's leadership as a cult of personality crashing under its own weight. Both seem to agree that his fragile ego makes him more vulnerable to ridicule, something the Lincoln Project exploited flawlessly. Trump has a history of very public meltdowns, especially when criticism strikes a nerve. Remember the time he rage tweeted through an entire weekend after being mocked at the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner? The pattern tracks. Humor puts him on edge, and his reactions give the jokes more mileage. This explosion gave the Lincoln Project's ad a second wind, launching it into a full-blown online event. Comedians, commentators, and of course Twitter jumped on the bandwagon, turning Trump's tantrum into a viral sensation. The irony? Trump's meltdown ensured the ad got even more attention, spreading its satirical message far beyond the Lincoln Project's usual audience. If laughter is the best medicine, it might also be the GOP's worst nightmare in 2024. So what happens when the punchlines outlast the policies? Well, that's a question Trump definitely doesn't want answered. Trump's meltdown over the Lincoln Project's ad might feel like another episode of his usual antics, but it could reveal a deeper issue within his campaign. As the ad went viral, it exposed cracks in his strategy, where humor managed to cut sharper than criticism ever could. And here's the kicker. Vice President Kamala Harris is now polling ahead of Trump in a Morning Consult poll, a sign that public perception may finally be shifting. So what do you think? Can satire truly sway the 2024 race? Let us know in the comments. One thing's for sure, this election isn't playing by the usual rules.